Why did the man of God believe the old prophet's lie? This is the question we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of 1 Kings on walking through the Bible. Today we're going to be discussing 1 Kings chapter 13, verses 11 to 22. But before we do that, let's read the passage. If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to 1 Kings chapter 13, verse 11. But if you don't have a Bible, don't worry, just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So 1 Kings chapter 13, beginning at verse 11. Now an old prophet dwelt in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of God had done that day in Bethel, that they also told their father the words which he had spoken to the king. And their father said to them, Which way did he go? For his sons had seen which way the man of God went who came from Judah. Then he said to his sons, Saddle the donkey for me. So they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode on it, and went after the man of God, and found him sitting under an oak. Then he said to him, Are you the man of God who came from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said to him, Come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I cannot return with you, nor go in with you. Neither can I eat bread nor drink water with you in this place. For I have been told by the word of the Lord, You shall not eat bread nor drink water there, nor return by going the way you came. He said to him, I too am a prophet as you are. And an angel spoke to me by the word of the Lord, saying, Bring him back with you to your house, that he may eat bread and drink water. He was lying to him. So he went back with him, and ate bread in his house, and drank water. Now it happened, as they sat at the table, that the word of the Lord came to the prophet who had brought him back. And he cried out to the man of God who came from Judah, saying, Thus says the Lord, Because you have disobeyed the word of the Lord, and have not kept the commandment which the Lord your God commanded you, but you came back, ate bread, and drank water in the place of which the Lord said to you, Eat no bread and drink no water. Your corpse shall not come to the tomb of your fathers. In our last lesson, we had the man of God from Judah coming to Bethel to speak against the altar Jeroboam had set up there. This was God's message that the prophet delivered, that one from the house of David, Josiah by name, would destroy this altar and burn dead men's bones on it. Jeroboam tried to have the man of God arrested, but God paralyzed his hand. God also rent the altar in two, pouring out the ashes on the ground, the sign that the man of God had prophesied would come to pass, and his words were true. Jeroboam asked the man of God to pray that God restore his hand, something the man of God did, and God heeded. However, when Jeroboam asked the man of God to return to eat at his house, perhaps to get the man of God to reconsider his words, the man of God refused, saying God forbade him to eat or drink with anyone who was here, and not even to return to Judah the same way he came. In this, God was specific. The man of God understood, and up until this point, the man of God obeyed. Coming now to verse 11, we are introduced to an old prophet dwelling in Bethel. By using the word prophet, we are led to believe that the author intends for us to understand that this man too had been, at least at one time, a prophet of God, but was now elderly. I find it interesting that this prophet didn't seem to have the gumption to stand up to Jeroboam's false worship happening right in his own town, but perhaps that's why the man of God from Judah had to come. When he hears of the works and the words of the man of God from his sons, he immediately asks which way the man of God went. He was told, and then went out to follow him. Now, why would this old prophet want to do this? Well, this is entirely speculation, but perhaps it had something to do with the fact that Bethel and northern Israel were now under the judgment of God and the old prophet desired that the man of God ask God to remove it. Perhaps if he succeeded in doing this, this would put him in the good graces of Jeroboam, thus landing him a good job in the king's court. Regardless of his motivation, he went after the man of God and found him resting under a tree. The old prophet told the man of God to return with him to Bethel and eat with him. Again, the man of God told the old prophet what the word of the Lord was, showing us that he understood his mission fully. Now, the old prophet could have been content with that, But no, he wasn't. So he lied. He told the man of God that he too was a prophet, and that an angel had appeared to him speaking the words of the Lord, that he should return and eat with the old prophet. In saying this, I note that the old prophet didn't go so far as to say that God spoke to him directly, for that could very well bring wrath down from heaven directly on him. Instead, he said that an angel spoke to him. In truth, it didn't matter who he claimed told him the message. It was a lie, for nobody told this old prophet anything. He was pulling rank as an older prophet than this young man was, and as such was obviously given a superior message, at least in the mind of the young man of God. That is the danger of blindly following our elders, or anyone for that matter. We are told to listen to those who are older than us and to respect them, but that doesn't mean that everything they say is the truth and that we should view it as such. We still need to compare what was said with what God has already revealed. Had the man of God done that, he would have said that unless God speaks to him directly and tells him the same message, he was going to do what God had originally said, for he knew that to be the truth. Alas, though, the man of God allowed himself to be deceived by the old prophet and went back to Bethel and ate. And so, while they were eating, the word of the Lord came to the old prophet, which compelled him to tell the man of God that because he disobeyed the word of the Lord and had not kept the commandments of God, his corpse would not come to the tomb of his father. In other words, he would die far away from home, likely on this journey. Now we might say, but the man of God was deceived. Why did God act this way? Because the man of God knew what the word of the Lord was and disobeyed it. I am reminded of what God told Israel in Deuteronomy 13, verses 1 to 3. If there arises among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and he gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder comes to pass of which he spoke to you, saying, let us go after other gods, which you have not known, and let us serve them, you shall not listen to the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God is testing you to know whether you love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Now, I don't believe that the Lord moved the old prophet to test the man of God directly. But this was a test of whether the man of God would obey or disobey. Israel was told they would face prophets who would appear to be from God, who would tell them to worship idols. They were not to listen because that message wasn't from God. He told them not to worship idols and was never going to change his mind on that. Well, the man of God here was told by God what to do, and the only one who could change that was God himself, speaking directly to the man of God, not through an angel and not another prophet. The man of God was responsible for his actions, and his actions showed that he didn't truly love the Lord with all his heart and soul as he thought he did. For if he did, he wouldn't have come back to Bethel to eat with the old prophet. And this incomplete lack of love for the Lord and his commandments is ultimately why the man of God believed the old prophet and went back to eat with him. We will conclude this account of the man of God, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of 1 Kings chapter 13, verses 23 to 34, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.